Hey everybody, Tamara here. Let's talk about books. Ew, look at this, look at this, look at this. Do you see that? Ants. Honey, will you grab this? I am sorry that I haven't been around. I haven't been feeling well at all. I've been kind of trying to do the bare minimum, just enough to keep going every day. I am trying to get things taken care of. Right now I don't really have any answers. I know this sounds incredibly vague, but it's vague for me too because I don't know what's going on. But I wanted to make a video for you, and I have another video that I've been working on, but it's, I don't know, I feel awkward editing it, but that's another story. So I wanted to make something that would just be simple and easy and fun, and maybe you could do this if you want to. Is this a tag? I don't know. If you're active on Twitter, you may remember, like, so was it a month or two or three? I don't know, time relative, but at some point in time in the past, Kaytastic had posted a tweet asking about your first Amazon purchase, which I found to be a really interesting question. So I thought that I would talk about it on here because my first Amazon purchases were mostly books. So I thought, hey, why not make it a thing on the channel? So if you want to do this, look at your first Amazon purchases or your first book purchases online. If you can find them, if you can find an account that goes back that far, and share. I'm looking down at this in case you're wondering. Here, I'll try to hold it up so it's not so weird. So, but I think that I may have bought books on Amazon before then. I don't know. Okay. So my first books that I have listed are from January 20th, 2005, and they are really boring. They're about investments. I wanted to be more educated on investing on the stock market, but I am positive I did not read any of these. One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch and John Rothschild. The Newest Little Guide to Stock Market Investing by Jason Kelly. So let's go a little bit deeper. Faith in Sea, The Dispersion of Seas and Other Late Natural History Writings, Henry D. Thoreau and Bradley P. Dean. This, I think that I read bits and pieces of this, but unfortunately these books were bought a long time ago, many moves ago, so I'm not even sure where in the world they exist, but they don't exist on my bookshelves, and that's the problem with moving a lot and having paperbacks. Sometimes they just get lost in the shuffle. I bought a bunch of VHS tapes, Blue Velvet, Wild at Heart, two movies I love so much. I was a huge David Lynch fan, wow. Then the first fiction book was Chuck Palahniuk's Lullaby. I had read Invisible Monsters, and I loved that book. Chuck Palahniuk is the author of Fight Club, but I didn't know him from that. I read Invisible Monsters first, and that book was incredible. It was, I love, I think the term is transgressive fiction. It's definitely, in my opinion, it's definitely like a time capsule, like, you know, late 90s, early 2000s kind of feel. It doesn't feel like it fits kind of in today's literature landscape. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I love it so much. And then some more I love that I had bought all these VHS tapes, but it was because they were so cheap and I loved them. So I'd gotten The Doom Generation, Happiness, and Reservoir Dogs. And I think that I feel like I traded Happiness for a Colt 45 t-shirt. I still have the Colt 45 t-shirt. A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius by David Eggers. Wasn't he the one who it was revealed that he'd written a bunch of BS? Was that him on Oprah? Let me know in the comments if I'm correct about that. So this book was an account of Eggers after his parents had died from cancer. It was he was in his early 20s, and he had to take care of his younger brother, and it was stream of consciousness, and I found it totally arresting. When I started reading it, I was just drawn into it. Yeah, it's really interesting to look back at all these books that I haven't read in like a decade, you know, and trying to remember how I felt about them if I'd read them. Because, you know, there's definitely books that I have bought and haven't read. I know I'm not alone. You're there too. I know that if you look at your books that you bought online, that you're gonna find some that you didn't read as well. Then I bought a bunch of books for my mom, Jane and Krentz. So Absolutely Positively, I have The Beholder, and I did not read those. I don't think. I might have read them if I was at my mom's house and, you know, bored, but I didn't buy them for me. Then I read The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test by Tom Wolfe, because Tom Wolfe was a pretty known journalist. I wanted to be a reporter, and I read a lot of books from renowned journalists or reporters who were a little out there, a little different. So this book was set in 1967, and Wolfe was following this group of people who were taking LSD at the time, and he was reporting about it. And I don't know if he was tripping himself. He might have been. I mean, I don't know. But I found it to be very, very interesting. I found it to be a fascinating account. And yeah. Aw, I missed that book. That was on my bookshelf for a really long time. Next is Howl and Other Poems by Allen Ginsberg. I kept the book, but I didn't actually read the book. I listened to the recording on YouTube, and I think that's how Howl should be experienced. But it was definitely cool. One of the original beat poets. Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. Wow, did I have any books for myself by women? The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. A Linda Howard book that was also for my mom, Everlasting Love. Then I read Smack by Melvin Burgess, and I didn't go into the other two because they're kind of like classic American novels, so I'm sure you've heard of them at some point. Smack was about this teenager who ran away from home, and like he met up with a group of other teenagers, and it was their journey into like the kind of the underbelly of life. They were shooting up heroin. They were involved in, like, there was prostitution. There was a lot that happened. It was a really dark book, but it was a really good one. I liked it a lot, but it was heavy. It was one of those books that I had to not read for a little bit afterwards because it was just, there was so much that happened. But those were kind of the books that I used to love. You know, I used to love books that were very dark and hit on the darkest themes imaginable, you know. And that was, I don't know, it was what I wanted. My novel, Blood Roses and Honeysuckles, I delve a little bit into kind of the darker side of this small town of Tiltonsville. But as the books go in the Blood Roses trilogy, I want to delve more into that and really kind of dig into the negative side of small towns. Even though with my cozy series, it's set in a small town too, and of course there is, murder, but in Whisper Valley, it's very much a small, quaint, small town. Whereas Tiltonsville, which is the setting for the Blood Roses series, is not quaint, not quite. So, yeah, But you'll be hearing more about that very, very soon, so stay tuned. When I ordered Smack, I ordered 2 other books. One book that I know I did not read was Cut by Patricia McCormick, and again, looking down here. The other book was The Torn Skirt by Rebecca Godfrey, and I don't remember even having this. And it sounds really good. Like, I'm bummed. What happened? I was born with the fever, but it seemed to subside for 16 years, and then as I turned 16 and stopped smiling, the fever returned though my skin stayed pale and sure, showing no sign of the heat inside of me. So it was this girl full of longing and the fever, looking for something risky as she fell into a friendship or a relationship, I'm really not sure, with the mysterious Justine, the outlaw girl in the torn skirt. The search for Justine will lead Sarah on a daring odyssey into an underworld of hookers and johns, junkies and thieves, runaway girls and skater boys, and ultimately into violent tragedy. How did I not read that? That sounds like it was right up my alley. Now I want to find it. Maybe I can find it in a library or something. But those are the books that I first bought from Amazon. Have you read any of these? Are any of these your favorites? Let me know down in the comments. If you decide to do a video about your first books that you bought on Amazon, let me know. I'm not sure when I'll be doing another write-in live stream, but if you follow me on Twitter at PenPaperPad, and if you subscribe and click the notification bell, I'll definitely let you know when I go live. And I usually give some type of update on the community tab so that folks who have clicked the follow thing and are interested in knowing, that should pop up. As far as I know, oh yeah, YouTube does what it does. I just try to keep up, kinda. Thanks for stopping by and checking me out. I hope you had a good time. I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you in the next one.